Welcome to another episode of By the Railside podcast movie reviews. With me this week, we've got Jeff.
Or by the Podside Railcast, but yeah, I'm here.
Did I say that?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
said that.
Okay. And Jordan.
Buenos dias.
And
Hey,
myself.
that's on.
Oh, Zach.
We.
A couple things. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at By Railside for all the notifications of when we post. And when we go live on Twitch at twitch.tv/by the railside. This week, we reviewed Pan's Labyrinth, a Spanish film, which Jordan is going to tell us all about.
I feel like I should have either learned Spanish or gotten a Spanish translation for the synopsis here, but we'll just go in English because that's the way the whole world should work. In 1944, Falangast, Spain, a girl fascinated with fairy tales is sent along with her pregnant mother to live with her new stepfather, aka Captain Daddy, a ruthless captain of the Spanish army. During the night, she meets a fairy who takes her to an old faun in the center of the labyrinth, which is on her stepdaddy's property. He tells her she's a princess, but must prove her loyalty by surviving 3 gruesome tasks. If she fails, she'll never prove herself to be the true princess and will never see her real father, the king, again.
Yes, that is true. And it's pretty good. I enjoyed this movie, even though I had to read it. That was kind of annoying, but it was a good movie. The visuals in it were really nice. It wasn't pure CGI, which is really good. And the budget on this thing was actually only 19 million, and that is pretty impressive for the the quality of it.
No idea. Like, I'm so out of loop with movie budgets. I know like Endgame was like 400 million, shit like that. But I don't know what the average like movie budget in 2004, whenever this movie came out, was.
Well, let's see.
Does anyone have any idea?
Well, someone looks that up, but yeah, the I think that is actually like very low for a movie budget, and especially coming from the director that it came from, like Guillermo del Toro, um, has done tons of like great films. One of the ones that I really enjoy is Hellboy, which he
Oh,
did.
he did help.
Yeah,
Since the effects are kind of similar in certain areas, like the eyeball hand guy is pretty close to like the blue guy and shit like that in style.
yeah. He also did Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, and Blade 2, which really is the best one out of the Blade trilogy.
It could be argued that the Blade Trinity is the best because Ryan Reynolds is just
Yeah,
a delight in
yeah.
that film.
Ryan Reynolds he's Canada's sweetheart, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, who else do we have, really? We have Justin Bieber, which, if you didn't know him from his music career as a child, he just looks like a crack addict.
Yeah,
Like, if people were walking down the street and they saw him just sitting on the side of the road, no one would stop and be like, hey, that guy's probably famous. They'd be like, man, we should give that guy $20 for a cheeseburger or something.
yeah. We got Elliot Page,
I don't know who that is.
formerly Ellen Page.
Oh, yes. He's Canadian?
Yeah,
Really?
he's Canadian. Michael Cera's Canadian.
Yeah, Michael Cera he's a typecast. I still, to this day, do not believe he's an actor.
Yeah.
I just believe he's someone who showed up for, like, a tour of the Hollywood set and they just grabbed him and put him in the movie.
Yeah.
All of his movies.
Ryan Gosling. But out of the two Ryans, Ryan Reynolds is just you can't beat him.
I take Reynolds over Gosling because Gosling is too close to Goose, and I don't trust gooses.
Yeah, gooses are bad.
Canadian gooses are the worst. I did recognize like a lot of themes, and I don't know because I've only seen 2 like Spanish/Mexican movies. And I don't know. I need to look it up because I don't know if chalk is like and underlying theme for like mystic stuff in that culture, because in the first movie that we ever did, the Tigers Are Not Afraid, the girl made wishes, 3 wishes using 3 pieces of chalk. And in this movie, she can use a piece of chalk as long as it's unbroken, I'm pretty sure, to draw doorways to go anywhere.
Oh, she was able to do it with the one broken piece when she was running away from the guy with eyeball hands.
That's true, but she couldn't do it on the wall. She had to do it on the roof. And then she used
Yeah,
her
that was
fucking
kind of
monster
strange.
strength to like hoist herself up. No fucking way. There's no way.
I mean, kids have like a really weird strength to body weight ratio, right? Like, there's a lot of shit that kids can do that adults just can't do. Like, kids can do these like fucking squat things where they like barely hover off the ground, like a millimeter off the ground without even like breaking a sweat. An adult just tries to sit down wrong and they fall over, right? So,
That is true. But I mean, this is like
It's the
end
Asian
of the
squat.
end of World War II. Like,
yeah.
there's definitely not enough rations to go around unless you're with the Nazis, which she might have been.
Yeah. Well, apparently this is a completely separate war from World War II. This is just the Spanish Civil War.
There's a Spanish
Yeah.
Civil War in 1944. That's a bad fucking
That's the
year
end of
for
it.
a
That's
war.
the end of it. Yeah, it went on for 5 years, and then that was the end of it. But you don't hear too much about it because Hitler takes the spotlight, killing Jews.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't really, you hear, okay, these 2 people are fighting over a piece of land, or this guy gassed like a third of a population just because he didn't like them.
Yeah.
Couldn't get into art school, so I made the Jews go bye bye.
It's a classic problem.
That's actually how you can say that World War II actually started. It was like a little boy was born with big aspirations of being an artist, and then a more talented Jewish person got into school and he took revenge on all of them.
That's why I'll never apply to art school. Don't want a chance to, you know?
Because you don't want to end up like Hitler.
I
Yeah.
refuse.
It's the only thing stopping you from being Hitler is art school.
Yeah.
I don't even care if, like, if I was the most artistically talented person on this planet, I still wouldn't do art. You know why? Because I don't want to be Hitler. I saw some of Hitler's paintings and I was like, wow, those are actually really good. And then I found out Hitler did them and I was like, I'm conflicted. Because how do you do, like, okay, yeah, he had talent. He could draw a pretty picture, paint a pretty picture, but then there's that other thing he did.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly. There's monuments and shit.
So, let's talk about the whole concept of. Do you think it was just, because I know it's a mythical thing, but I feel like it was used as a way to more or less help the child. It definitely is helping the child cope with whatever the fuck is happening in her family right now. Her Taylor dad, and then all of a sudden, Grand Marshal fuckwit. What, like, also, what's up with her mom forcing her to be like, hey, you call him dad? You're like, I don't want to.
I feel like the story is a lot darker. Like, oh, my Taylor father died in due to the war, and now my mom is marrying this captain. I feel like the reality of the situation is probably like, this captain and his men raided our village, killed my dad. He raped my mom. She got pregnant, and now I have to live with him.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, the whole story is very, very similar to Tigers Are Not Afraid, which took a lot of inspiration from this film, right? Basically just a child's escapism mechanism from the horrors of war and whatnot, right? As for like the mother, that's pretty common back then, because like women are basically property still back then. You just do whatever it takes to make the father happy. You call him whenever he wants. Just shut the hell up and fall in line, right? Like,
Yeah, she didn't really do a good job of that.
Yeah.
Like with the maid, like the first time she met her, she's like, "We got to go back. You shouldn't be in the labyrinth. We should go see your father." And she's like, "Hey, he's not my dad. He's my stepdad. He's not my dad. He's not my dad." And she
Yeah.
said it like 9 times. She's like, okay, I think you made it clear.
Yeah.
And she's like, on the download, she's like, don't say it in front of him. He's a fucking arsehole.
Yeah, she's still a rebellious kid, right? Which is still happens, but the mother's just like, please, I don't want to get beaten anymore. Just call him daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I feel like she was. I don't know how far along in the pregnancy she was. It seemed like they were trying to play it off like she was a lot later on, like 8-9 months at that point. But
Yeah.
she looked 3 or 4. Like the bump,
Yeah.
it wasn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it could just be like malnutrition from not being able to get rations because your country's fighting itself.
Yeah, but she's on the winning side. Just kidding. Till the end when everything gets fucked. It was that watch was like so like the pass down. That dude was always checking his watch because it was his father's watch that he smashed just before he died. He's like, so my son will know. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, here, my son, I'm going to give you this watch, and I want you to tell him the time that his father died. And then the maid Mercedes is just like, nah, nope, not telling him shit. He is not even going to know who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Why would you expect them to do that? Be like, hey, I know I'm like a captain in this army that everyone fucking hates because there's no need for it. But would you please tell my son about me? No. What fucking, like, what compensation do I get out of this? Hey, your dad, this is his name, Captain Fuckface, and he murdered a bunch of people, including, spoilers, a child. Give me my son.
Whoa.
Actually, no, he didn't even ask. He just sort of took the kid and then blasted her.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
That was her last test. She passed the test. Always get.
There was a lot of weird assumptions made by the characters in this movie. Like, if you're fucking Mercedes, you cut your way out of the bonds when you're about to get tortured. You stab the guy twice and then slash his face and run away. You know this guy. You know all the shit that's going to happen if there's even a remote chance you live. Why not just finish the fucker off and then leave? Like, and then do your slow walk away and hope no one notices you. Why just like cut him and then walk away? Like, why not kill the guy? I don't understand him.
That's the difference between a trained soldier and a maid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Soldier be like, okay,
like,
this guy's got his back turned to me. I've got a knife. I'm gonna slit his throat. Done. She's just like, I'm gonna fucking poke you.
yeah, that's fine. Like not being able to kill him in one stab, but like not making sure he was dead before she walked away. Like that's 100% what I would do after seeing everything this guy's done, seeing that this is what her brother's fighting for, that killing him could help her brother and all this kind of stuff. She's just like, no, I'm gonna slow walk into the woods after cutting him and just hope he's hurt enough. I found that really, really bad.
Yeah. Although I agree with the slow walking, because the way I look at it is like, if I'm one of those evil henchies, I'm looking for things out of the ordinary. So a random lady like booking ass into the woods, suspicious. But a woman just like casually walking in the woods, maybe she's going to pick some herbs, maybe she's going to get some mushrooms, maybe she's going rabbit hunting. You know?
I think.
Yeah, the slow walk's not as big of a deal. I fucking hated that she didn't kill him.
Yeah,
that bothered me.
That just reminds me of like I hate the expression like drive it like you stole it. Okay, I'm driving 3 kilometers underneath the speed limit.
Yeah.
I'm not getting caught. Like you're fucking. Which one's a stolen car? The one going 180 down a fucking 60 road, or the guy going 58?
It was odd though because when he was torturing Stuttering Sam, and he's like, "Hey, if you count to 3, I'll let you go." And then Stuttering Sam was just like, "What?" And looking at his henchman, and then he's like, "Don't look at him. Just like if I say to let you go, then will you question it, Franz, or whatever his name was?" And he's like, "Nope, wasn't even at all." And then she starts walking away, and then the first guy's like, he let her go? That's weird. Hey, lady, and just didn't even let her
Better
walk
question it.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? That didn't follow it, but maybe I think it was just a ploy because he knew that once once Stuttering Sam got to Trez, like he wasn't gonna be able to do it. Feel
Oh,
bad.
Stuttering Sam was never going to get out. That guy is just a torturing asshole. Even if he said he was going to let Stuttering Sam out, he wasn't going to let him out even if he got it right.
Oh yeah, he'd probably be like one of those guys, like, yeah, I'll set you free from your mortal chains, blam blam blam.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is another thing that bothered me about the movie. What fucking caliber were all the guns? Because like I don't know if it's just Hollywood movie magic, like every other fucking movie I've ever seen. It's always like someone gets shot and they're like fucking blown backwards.
Yeah.
But this movie, like a child gets shot and she just stands there and is like.
Well, I mean, guns don't actually knock you around, right? That's in order for them to produce enough fucking force to knock you backwards with a thing that small, it would have to knock you over when shooting it, right? It'd have to have the power of a rocket launcher. So yeah, if you get shot, you're just gonna like fall down because of pain. You're not gonna fall over, right?
I would have liked it.
But
better.
the movie was very mixed with that. Sometimes if they got shot, they go flying. Other times, like the girl and the doctor, they like barely reacted. It was very hit or miss with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
Also, most of the guns were Lugers.
Yeah, and I would just like more consistency or maybe like an explanation, but that's just me like looking for holes.
Yeah,
like
that's just
movie,
Hollywood bullshit, right?
Yeah, there's at least some reaction, but I guess like I've never. Well, I can't really say that.
You never been shot?
No, I was gonna say I've never seen anyone get shot, but I've seen lots of videos of people getting killed.
Yeah.
I've been shot with a paintball gun. That almost sent me flying.
You're a bitch.
Shit hurt.
The paintball gun is different from a Luger, though. Paintball guns are designed to hurt.
Same thing.
Guns are designed to kill things.
Yeah. It's all just 22s, little tiny. Little...
That's what I'm assuming, yeah. 22s are 9 mils. You gotta get that fucking elephant cannon handgun. It's like an upgraded 50 cal.
What about when the guy was stitching up his own mouth?
I thought that was... I mean, the explanation for that is there because he offed the doctor like 10 minutes earlier in the movie, so they got no one else to do it.
But more just the wound itself, it almost looked like it was like when you cut yourself, like you can see like the flesh, like it's not as his was straight smooth. Like the outsides of his mouth was straight smooth when he was like stitching it up. It was like there would be something in there.
Nah.
And then
that thing would be bleeding like crazy.
Yeah, it was almost like it was like cauterized, like sealed off, and then it didn't bleed anymore until he chugged some booze like a moron.
Yeah. Got my face slit open. Don't even tilt my mouth the opposite direction. Just let it flow and then get mad because the alcohol hurt me and then immediately pour another shot because I'm mad and I need a drink.
What'd you think of the Mercedes reaction when he was basically telling her that he knew she was the inside guy? If this torturing psychopath comes up to you and is like, hey, the guerrilla unit has an insider, happen to have a key that you had, think anything suspicious about that? You just gotta say goodnight, sir, 3 times in a row? Like,
hell yeah.
Her fucking reaction was so bad. Just, no, goodnight, sir. Okay, have a good sleep. Okay, goodnight, sir. Like, not trying to defend yourself, deflect, nothing. Just, nope, goodnight.
Yeah, well, I feel like at that point, and especially with that character, because if you question him, that's a lashing or a Luger to the shin. Whereas she was just trying to get the fuck out of there. Like, okay, I know I'm caught. This is not good. I need to leave this room before he puts his Luger up my bumhole and squeeze the trig.
Please, no
butthole or the Lugers.
He's bad, hot, spicy.
Okay, before I go into more things that bothered me about this movie, the best part about this movie was the frog deflating. Yeah. Holy shit, that was amazing.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure frogs have more insides than just their stomach. Even though it was a magical, like, big-ass bullfrog, they've got at least 4 legs. 2 of them are fairly big.
Yeah.
But no, just like a fucking balloon.
I've seen frogs go inside out because when I was little, I was an asshole.
When I was
But
little, I used to turn them inside out.
yeah, I used to pin them up on fucking thorn trees and throw them over hydro lines. I was a real asshole. Anyways,
I lost an art competition.
That's why he doesn't paint anymore.
But the sound that thing made, the stomach coming out, oh, that whole scene was hilarious when it was dying. Before that, the sounds it made when licking were like really over the top and unnecessary. But when it was dying, that was the top end of the movie for me. I loved it.
That was actually Guillermo del Toro making those. He did the noises for the frog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Commitment.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what noises I didn't like though? Every time the fucking fawn was in the scene and they're just like, we want to make sure people know he's a nature creature, so he's made out of wood. We're just going to have creaking tree sounds even if he's not moving at all times. That was really annoying.
It was his heart beating.
I hated it.
Crack.
It was yeah. What else? We should change the way we format these things. We should start with the good stuff.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna do whatever the fuck we want. You can't do transitions, and we've accepted that. Yeah. Okay. So, but what about? Like my impression.
It's hard to do. I don't know. Maybe we should script it.
I feel like just don't start 4 different sentences. Just go with one solid
It's real
sentence.
hard to do. My brain goes too quick.
Don't
What
start speaking.
What you guys think of?
Don't start speaking before you know what you're gonna say. Think about it beforehand. Like when you see me over here, blank stare, I'm thinking of things to say. Like right now, this is all pre-planned. I've been thinking about this for months.
I just figured you were just looking at me, just be like, "Hey, why is he saying all that dumb shit?"
I'm just trying not to laugh because like I noticed it very early on, and it's been very hard for me not to go to bring it up.
Yeah, it's
and
okay.
Now you're gonna notice it. You're gonna like be halfway into the 4th sentence, and then fuck. He was right.
No, I know I do it.
What are some of the good things that you liked about this movie, Zach? Name 4.
Name 4?
4.
Oh, 4. I'm gonna have to work on this. Hold on.
Not you, Jeff. You get 2. Zach
yeah, I know, 4. But I want to have my own.
I want my own 4.
Yeah.
The effects. I liked it that it wasn't all CGI. It had like a lot of practical effects and makeup effects. Even though, Christ, that fucking skin and bone eye-seeing hand monster was terrifying. What else? Just the settings in general, the clothing, the costumes, everything like that were very time. What's the word? Appropriate. Time appropriate. Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. I like at the end how it just before he got shot, he came around the corner and this little girl's just seemingly talking to nothing. So you can tell like this was her way of coping with everything that happened throughout the whole thing, like in order to deal with it. It sort of just tied it in at the end. Other than that, you just sort of thought it was just a weird mixture. Maybe at nighttime this just happens like it does in some other fantasy films. And I hated the mother, so it's very relatable.
How about you, Jeff? Segue off that topic. What are your 2 good things about this movie?
I love the frog, so there's that. One thing I did like was how they didn't show a lot of the underworld, but to me, the underworld and other realms and whatnot are supposed to be very foreign, right? So her first experience with it is the large bug thing that she calls a fairy, And it's obviously not something. Well, obviously there's things around here that look like that. It looks kind of like a praying mantis, but anyways, she doesn't know what to make of it, so her mind molds it into something more relatable from her books. When that's when it turns into the humanoid fairies. I thought that was really cool, taking the abstract, the unknowable of the underworld, and turning it into something knowable. Right? I thought that was good. The second task, the setting, the whole just like super creepy eye guy, I really liked that. I'm big into like horror and creepiness and shit like that. I thought that was really good. Um, the ending with the the little girl being killed, I thought really tied the movie together, because nothing in this movie to me said a happy ending. The tasks were all really weird. Like even in the first task, she's killing a giant mythical frog. The second task, she barely escapes from like this weird fairy eating thing, right? Like nothing in this movie said happy, and I'm glad they didn't try and give it a happy ending. I thought that was much more appropriate the way they went. And the realism of like this movie's just like about a kid that's trying to cope with trauma and whatnot, right? And I found the ways they did it, even though they took like a fantasy approach to it, she's seeing all these things, talking all these things. What she did still ended up being very much what a kid does. Like she's rebelling against her parents and whatnot by getting good clothes muddy, by hiding stinky shit under her mom's bed, right? Like she's doing stupid shit because that's all she knows how to do, but framing it as like this big fantasy, she's trying to save the world thing, right? I thought all that was really well done.
Yeah, I also thought it was a good note of like the imagination of kids because, especially at that age, like you're not gonna fully understand that your mom is sick, right? So you're gonna try and come up with an answer for the problem, like that you have no idea what's actually going on. Even the doctor didn't know 100% what was going on. So you're like, yeah, I just gotta put this baby yam in a bowl of milk, a couple of drops of my blood, and it'll make mom better. Although it did for a while, which I thought was weird because they never gave an actual medical explanation, as far as I know, for her like just randomly getting better. Other than I'm assuming bed rest because that would make the most sense.
Yeah, sometimes antibiotics just work, right?
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I like the at the end. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to say I liked when the girl got shot, but I thought it was a good way to round out the characters because like as you were saying, like throughout this entire movie, you could definitely tell it was not heading towards a happy ending for her. Maybe a happy ending for the freedom fighters or rebellion guerrillas. I don't know what you want to call them.
I called them gorillas in all my notes.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just find the word gorilla funny because like people are like, oh, there's gorilla fighters in the forest, and I'm just picturing like a bunch of gorillas with armor on.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was very good the ending because it reached the natural conclusion that a lot of people would assume from the very beginning of the movie, which is this guy is going to kill her or is the cause of her death. Because like the entire movie, it starts out with them being driven out to a random shack in the middle of fucking nowhere instead of a city. So she's completely isolated with this brand new human being who she has no idea, and she's being told by her mother, be like, "No, this is your dad. Please call him dad. Please don't make the mistake of not calling him dad."
Yeah, there was in that scene with the pale guy with the seeing eye hands. In the background is the fireplace is actually shaped like anglerfish. And so
Mhm.
it's sort of symbolizes because how the anglerfish has that little light or whatever at the front.
Yeah.
Like so, the whole display is used to sort of entice small children because this thing eats kids, according to all the pictures throughout the thing. To eat the fruit, and I'm assuming shouldn't it have been like the fruit? I would think would want to make them drowsy instead of being able to run away. But maybe it's because she only had like a little grape, or he
Yeah, because it.
just
I don't know. The Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, it never really goes into a huge amount of details of like what this guy's plan is. I'm assuming it's more along the lines of like once kids find this place, they never find the exit. Um, Also, I don't know if it said anywhere that he eats them, because according to the walls, he stabs them and he eats them. Not eat, yeet with a Y.
Okay.
Yeah, because the one child he like just stabbed in the stomach, and the other one he just was like throwing above his head.
Oh, I took it the same way Zach did, that he was like tipping his head back and was gonna like swallow it.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
And I just, the kid, why eat the grapes? You got 3 fucking fairies flying at your face, giving you obvious signals like, hey, don't do that. And you're like, but they're purple seedless.
Because she was told not to, right? This is part of her growing up, her rebellion, not doing what her mother tells her. That's like a big part of her like story arc thing, right?
Yeah.
It's literally just rebelling preteen is her entire character arc basically.
So that's the whole point of the movie, is if you rebel against your parents and eat grapes from strangers, your stepdad's going to shoot you in the back.
Stomach, but yeah.
Went out the back.
Where the grapes are.
Yeah. No more grapes for you. Those bitches gone. So that's 2 shots with the Luger. Pop, pop. 1 for each grape.
Did he pop her twice?
I would hope so.
I think
Everyone
it was
else
once.
in the movie, he popped twice, because you got to make sure they're down.
Yeah.
Okay, so this time it wasn't about killing her. It was just making sure she knows not to fuck with him. The last 4 people I shot in the stomach didn't die. Those were adult men, Captain.
Yeah.
An 11-year-old girl. Or 10. I don't know how old this girl actually is in the movie.
I have no idea. I just did a quick Google search, and the Pale Man is what he's called, and he does eat the children.
Yummy.
More tender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not as quick
tough.
as well.
Before we go too far else, there's one more negative thing I want to bring up because I'm negative Nancy. When you bring up something in a story, a movie, anything like that, most of the time the viewers or the readers expect a certain payoff. And we got that with a lot of things in this movie. The knife with Mercedes, always showing her tucking it into her waistband so that you always knew she had a knife on her. Something was going to happen with that. They had 2 weird payoffs. Well, they're kind of connected. So I'll go with one weird thing that did not have a payoff whatsoever. They made this big deal about only taking 2 drops of the Scooby snacks or whatever the fuck it was. It was basically an anesthetic, as far as I could tell, for the mother. So then they had an unnecessary tension scene of the kid putting the piece of chalk on the table so that her father or the captain, I don't know if this was intentional, so that it would distract him from his tequila and he'd walk away, so then she could then drug the tequila with this sleepy juice, and then the sleepy juice doesn't actually do anything to stop him at all whatsoever, because he couldn't have shot her anyways, because she was holding the baby and he could have killed the baby. So like the whole circle with the drugging the tequila, the sleepy juice, no more than 2 drops, all that kind of stuff, there was no payoff to that whatsoever, because in the end he just walked up, took the baby, and shot her anyways. Like, that was such a weird thing to focus on for me. And that whole like tension with the chalk on the table scene seemed super unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it seemed like the chalk was like a bit of a fuck up on her end. Like, I don't know why you would ever put your door down. But yeah, the sleepy juice and the tequila also bugged me, because like, how many drops did she put in?
Like 60.
60. Okay. You would think it would knock him the fuck out. Although I can't remember exactly. Like, I think it was along the lines of the doctor saying that it was to help the mother sleep, not to like get to sleep. So maybe it was just once you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't really make any sense. Although it might have just been like a last ditch effort, and it might have helped her get as far away as she did. So instead of like having Mercedes find her in the compound and with her brother and be like, "Hey, we're the rebels. We got to get out of here. We're going to keep you safe now." Um, she actually had the time to run into the labyrinth to get offed.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
without that, she would have never made it back to the her kingdom or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it was supposed to slow him down, which is great and all, but the guy had already been stabbed twice and had his face cut off, right? Like, if you really needed something to slow him down, just have had him shot or stabbed in the leg or something. I really don't understand the like focus. That's just me though. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't ruin the movie or anything. It's just a weird section that had no payoff whatsoever for me.
It could also just be that to a kid, it might have seemed like to an adult, maybe it was actually just liquid form of like melatonin, where I take 2 of those and I'm like, I'm a little sleepy, okay. But if I had like the entire bottle, I'd be like, okay, I'm really tired. But a kid would see that and be like, okay, those are sleeping pills. Like you take one of those, you're fucking, you chew it, you're out.
Yeah.
So she was hoping for like this big magical thing where I can get away. And then he starts running after her. She's like, this shit don't fucking work. I also don't know why the doctor just left it there. Like, or wait, no, the doctor did the doctor save the wife?
No,
Or,
his
no, his doctor saved the baby, but was that before he got killed?
No, he got shot and then they came running because what ended up happening? He killed the doctor.
She went into labor. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, because he was inside for some reason already. Before or like after he killed the doctor, he went inside for to compare the vials. How the fuck?
No, okay, so the doctor was
was
seeing Stutter Sam,
Yeah,
and then he gave him the juice.
Yeah.
But before that, Captain Dickwad took a little vial out, put it in his pocket from Doc's doctor box, then went to go check it inside, then came back out, and then I'm pretty sure he clapped the doctor because the doctor killed the guy or mercied him.
and then
And
the
then
way out,
Ophelia ran outside to come get her dad because mom's vaginas was bleeding.
No, that was her vagina bleeding was a different time. She just screamed for help. He on his way out to go end up eventually killing the doctor. He found her underneath the bed because she had dropped the tray, and then yoinked her out of the bed. Took the mandrake out from underneath the bed, gave it to the mom, be like, "Hey, the fuck's wrong with your daughter? This is ridiculous. Why is there this stink below the bed?" And then the mom hucked the mandrake into the fire. Mandrake,
Oh,
and
okay,
then she was just like, and then he had to run back in because he's like, "Oh, my wife's having the baby. I fucking killed the doctor."
Gotta get that kid out.
Yeah, that, and then he told the guard to get the I forget what they called it, but basically an army surgeon is what they called in. It was a completely different doctor for the delivery.
Yeah. And then she died.
You know what I would have liked though, since the mandrakes are obviously supposed to represent like little babies and whatnot. If her throwing it into the fire had killed the baby instead of her, if it had caused her to miscarriage, so killing the mandrake root that was saving her killed the baby. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I think, but the movie would have just been way shorter because then Captain Dickhead would be like, "Well, you didn't give me my son, so I'm gonna put this knife in your belly and Luger in your butthole."
But then the foreshadowing earlier on wouldn't have worked when she was like, "Hey, that's you and that's me, but who's the little boy?" And the fawn was just like, don't worry about that."
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't think about that, about the third thing on the rock.
Yeah, which ended up being when she, for those who are still listening, when she grabbed her little brother after doping her dad, and then ran in, and the fawn was just like, "Hey, I need the blood of the innocent, just a little, just a little prick, and then it'll be okay. You don't have to. I'm not gonna full on kill him, so just pass him on." And
give me the
she's
baby.
like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then she got shot, and because of her sacrifice, she went to rejoin her father and mother in the kingdom of the underworld, which had a lot of sunlight.
Yeah, it's not the dark world; it's the underworld. It's like the Hollow
Yeah,
Earth
it
theory.
was the
There's a sun in there.
sunlight that made her. It's the sunlight that made her lose her memory in the first place. So that's
Yeah.
kind of odd.
Yeah,
Unless they
listen.
just have really, really bright lamps.
Yeah, they got LEDs. They had installed the
Yeah.
year before she came back.
Yeah.
Power saving, and they're brighter.
Now, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry,
I'll segue this
it
later.
was just bothering me again. Like the sleepy juice, it should have had way more of an effect because it went directly into the bloodstream because of the cut on his fucking mouth.
Maybe because it takes a while because he's a juice head, you know, like he's on roids. So
Yeah, but I feel like
his metabolism is a little bit rougher.
alcohol
the-
goes through your system pretty quick, and
the-
if
the
it goes
weak-
right in
the
your
weak
bloodstream, metabolism doesn't matter. It's not being metabolized.
Maybe because he's already hammered.
That was just one previous shot. I don't know.
Yeah, but that went right to the bloodstream. Remember? Because he's an idiot.
I also think it could just be like maybe he was bleeding out too much. Like maybe that's why he was just fucking stuttering all over the place. Because the only wound we saw him get healed was the one he was on his face that he sewed up himself. Everything else was still bloody as fuck.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just bleeding out too much. It's like, haha, your sleeping drugs won't have an effect on me because I'm already dead. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff. I just needed to get that out. It didn't make sense to me.
Sorry, I started reading something. I'm trying to see exactly what the sleeping juice is supposed to be. Is it just like a sleep aid or what it is? But I can't really find it. Now, if you were this child, okay, you are being taken out into La La Land. You see what you call a fairy, even though it's a big bug. And then at night, this big bug that you found in the woods is in your room and transforms into an actual fairy in front of you. Okay, let's assume that this actually happened and you're not sleeping. Do you follow it?
As a child, oh yeah, 100%. No
even
doubt in
as-
my mind.
Even as this age, I'm pretty sure I would.
Yeah.
What
Because
about
like,
you, Zach?
No, I'm not. I'm not following nothing.
wow, homophobic much.
No, I'm not. I've watched too many movies that where you just end up like you follow the weird thing and then you die. So
That's where you got to do your research. So like on the way, because I have a fucking kick-ass data plan. So on the way into the death forest, I'm gonna do research on what I'm following. So if it's a fairy, I know I'll accept their hospitality, but I have to return it and never eat or drink anything that they offer. Because as soon as you do, you're their slave. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
unless you're
Depends on
Tinkerbell.
the fairy.
I'd follow Tinkerbell.
You perv.
She had a fat ass.
No, she didn't. She was
I
like
don't think that-
2 inches tall. Damn, that's a fat ass. What is that? You got the size of a pea? Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so me and Jordan have followed the fairy. Jordan, do you then force feed a frog rocks?
Yeah. I mean, like,
Nowadays, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
If it was a huge frog like that, maybe. But if it was just a regular frog nowadays, no. As a child, 100% I would have.
yeah. I mean, like, it all depends. Because, like, maybe that was just a legitimate frog that she found underneath that tree.
Fucking huge.
And she just, like, shoved a bunch of rocks inside of it. It all depends on, like, the size of the frog and if I'm on a mission from God. Like, if I'm on the mission to get my godhood back, oh, I don't give a fuck about the size of the frog. There's going to be rocks in it. Probably more than 3, because I want to make sure this shit gets done. But if I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm in a tree, and I got 3 rocks in my hand, and there's a frog in front of me. I'm not going to put together that I need to make this frog eat these rocks.
Yeah.
Little me would have definitely done it.
Little me, I
No.
feel like would have just picked up the frogs and probably relocated them.
Or just you probably just huck them. rocks
Yeah.
at the frog.
Yeah,
I don't think.
no, huck the frogs at the rocks.
Yeah.
That's something I would have done.
You could lose a
Now,
rock.
now theoretically, stage 2 comes, or event 2, and you end up in Creep Lord's mansion. And you're looking around, and all the fucking things show Creep Lord eating children. Do you eat the grapes?
When I was a kid, probably not. Now, fucking go for it.
Would you have finished the grapes? That's the actual key.
I would have
Just-
ran around the table like playing.
just- Shoving, like, just chipmunk them.
Yeah, he's gonna stand up, finally get his eyes in his hand. He's gonna look at me. I'm gonna have 74 grapes, just like.
Okay, chubby bunny with grapes over here.
Yeah, but only
Dude,
as an adult. If I was a
his-
kid, I'd just get out of there.
What was your record?
34 or 35, I believe.
Oh.
And that's not like the tiny green ones. That's like
Yeah.
the full side, like ping pong balls, pretty much, of the red ones.
Yeah, I remember us almost choking.
Yeah,
'Cause
us.
We would look. We'd look up, and then we were just like, "Nice, we got all these," and then we would start getting them out, and then someone would giggle, and then it set off the other person giggling, and then we'd both just start going, and then we almost died.
Well, that's because that's when we learned to keep a bowl handy. Because getting them out's not that hard. And then you fucking wash them because I don't want to eat spitty grapes. I don't care if it's my spit. But yeah, to answer your question, if I was a kid, I would not eat the grapes. I would get the mission done, and get out of there. But nowadays, I'd probably just, like eat as much food as I possibly could while like ring around the rosying him around the table. It's like he wasn't that quick, so I feel like I could run around the table while scarfing and dodging for at least 5 to 10 minutes.
I definitely would have tried to see what's in those other mailboxes too.
Would the key have worked though?
I don't know, but I would have tried it.
Yeah, how did she know it was like that fucking key? How did she know that one would work?
No idea. Especially when the fairies are like, it's this one. But I know for sure, even if I got it right the first time, I'm trying the other two. There's no way I'm just like, well, apparently this dagger is what I'm after. There's no chance it could be anything else. I'm definitely trying to get in those letterboxes.
Yeah, because I don't see the point in not trying. Like, what's the harm? You lose a couple extra seconds? Well, you spent fucking half a minute scarfing down 2 grapes, lady. I'm pretty sure you can waste the extra 4 seconds it takes to just try the key.
And now, okay, so you followed fairies into a thing and met a tree deer. You've killed a giant frog and took a key out of its stomach. You went into Hand Eye's lair, ate some grapes, almost died, stole a dagger. All this stuff has happened. And now Deer Man is asking for a drop of a child's blood. Is this really where you draw the line and say no?
I would bamboozle him because as soon as he said it in my head, I'm like, she's a fucking child. Why not just prick her finger? Yeah. Like, that would work. And then she got fucking lugered in the tummy. And I was like, well, there you go. There's a lot of blood for you. You needed a drop, you got a fucking pint, buddy.
Prick me back. Prick me back.
Come on, prick me back. Luger me back.
I would have stuck the kid in the finger for a drop of blood. Like, out of all the things to say no to, that seems like super low on the totem pole.
Yeah. I don't think she said no to pricking the child. It was more saying no to, like, giving him the child, because she was just like, because early on in the movie, Mercedes was just like, oh, fawns. Yeah, my mother told me about fawns. She said never to trust a fawn. And then all of a sudden, this is another thing that actually happened. The closer it got to the full moon, the younger the fawn actually got throughout the whole movie.
I thought it was like
yeah,
due to like the fact that the princess was completing the challenges and therefore was like gaining some powers.
Oh, it could have been that too, but in certain mythologies, like the closer you get to the moon, like the more powerful God's got.
It's the combining of the spirit realm and the human realm.
But even with the task, like, it still followed along, like, because she had till the full moon to actually get the task done. But yeah, so I wouldn't trust a creepy dude though. I would be like, hey, just give me that baby. No. I'm just gonna prick it like just a little one. Like, I wouldn't trust
Give me the knife. I'll do it myself.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is my brother. I'll pluck his
No, dude.
finger myself. But
I would have just given him the baby. I don't know. I don't think I have a problem with
You
it.
know, you're a
fucked up.
sociopath who fucking tortured frogs when you were a kid, which is actually
True.
a leading factor and a very common factor among all serial killers. So when you get caught,
That's why I got skinny. So
shout me out. Yeah, they're looking for a fat guy. They're never gonna suspect me.
I shaved my hair recently, lost 200 pounds. You're not supposed to tell them.
Yeah, you know what? The more you talk about this, the more sus it seems. Like, the next you're gonna come up here, you're not gonna have any beard, and your eyes are gonna be different colors, and then. But yeah,
When's the last time you guys heard from Justin? Out of curiosity.
I mean, technically he's online now.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Jeff's
Jeff's
got
just
his
on his
computer.
phone, making sure. Yep, Justin's set to online. But yeah, when you get caught, just give me a shout out, saying that I 100% called it. I don't know how early or late in the game I am, but
Speaking of weight loss, the look of the Pale Man is actually based off of Del Toro's weight loss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of weight. Yeah, he had a bout of weight loss, and that's where the physical appearance came from for this fucking gnarly dude.
Like, hey boss, we got you gave us a description of the Pale Man, but can you just give us a visual for him? And then he just takes off his shirt and starts going.
That's
Basically
so
something
much
like
weight,
that,
his eyes
but with
couldn't hold his eyes anymore.
yeah. No, I thought he's basically something like that, but one of the folds flapped over his eyes, and he just picked up 2 grapes, and he's like, "This is perfect."
That's the growth. It was like he lost a lot of weight. You can really tell in his face, but it's just his. He's just got this fat fucking forehead that just plopped down.
Over.
Plopped out both his eyes. He's like, shit, I gotta put these in my hands now.
That's the only way I can see it, bros.
Oh man. All right. The last thing that this is something that really bugs me, and I don't like it. I really hate reading movies, and it's not the fact that I hate the task of reading. It's because it draws my eyes away from the actual film. So then you miss stuff because you gotta quickly read what they're saying, and then that's the one irritation I have with subtitled things.
See, I just learned to read, and I can do it real quick. So I read it quick, and then I get back up to the action. But I've also been watching subbed animes and TV shows since fucking 2010, at least.
I have good news for you, Zach.
Yeah.
One of the movies, the next category, is not in English.
Excellent.
That's gonna be great for you.
I cannot wait.
Although I'm telling you, man, you pay me a solid $500 to $600, and I'll read the subtitles to you.
It is Paris. I know it.
I'll do
But
it.
apparently it's really good. So
Parasite,
I'll just have to. Maybe I'll just watch it twice, and then that way I can. But Del Toro did the English subtitles for this one because I guess the movie that he was they did previously to this, which apparently this one's like a spiritual sequel to, which is called
Backbone or something like that.
yeah, The Devil's Backbone. The person who did the translations and the subtitles fucked it up so badly that Del Toro will never trust another translator again. So he just did it himself.
I feel like that's the best way to do it. Especially if you're a director, a multilingual director, and you want someone to understand the movie, just translate it yourself. You're the one making the fucking thing. Yeah. You know exactly what you want it to say.
Also, I think the problem maybe with this one with the subtitles could have been the fact that maybe it's the way that Amazon just had, because you can find this movie on Amazon Prime right now, if you have a Prime subscription. The way they had it set up, it was just it seemed like it was only maybe 5 or 6 words per line. So it was very small. If they would have increased it so that they would actually have a full sentence, then it probably would have been
that might have been on your end, because I know that you can change the size and display and everything of the subtitles on Prime.
So then that way I could just read it quick and then go back and actually look and to notice the small little things. because that's where I notice whenever I'm watching the movies, like even if I watch them over and over again, is finding the little details and stuff that you missed before.
I would, if for anyone that's gotten this far in, congratulations. And would you be interested in hearing me dub over foreign films? I will
Yes.
do one of two versions. One, it'll just be my voice for all of them, the same voice for the entire movie. The second choice is me getting way, way too into the characters.
Yeah, you should put that up on like Fiverr or something as like a job. Just voiceover actor.
Not professional. Also, you cannot tell me what to do. You give me the lines, and I'll give you the fucking character.
What do we got? We got like 5 minutes left. This is actually pretty good.
Here's
Even though we started
fun
out...
fact number 5. It lost the Oscar, but won awards around the world.
Yep.
The movie film.
Yeah, lost the Oscar just for Best Picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Best Original Screenplay and Best Foreign Language Film. But won on makeup, art direction, and cinematography. I don't know what any of those are, except for makeup. I know that one is.
Art direction, I think, is like the scenery and the way it's shot and everything like that. And or no, that's cinematography. Yeah, art direction would probably be like the character building. So like instead of just having like a dude wearing a goat mask, it's the freaky tree person wearing a human.
And you know why I give this movie a 1 out of 10?
What?
Pan wasn't in it at all.
Yeah,
whose Labyrinth is this? Pan's Labyrinth? Who's Pan?
There were 0 Pans in those labyrinths. Although, actually, fun fact about the movie, in North America is the only place where it's called Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's the actual name, which is El Labyrinto del Fauno.
Yeah, so it's basically the Faun's Labyrinth.
Lit.
But, yeah, so... the Spanish title refers to the fauns of Roman mythology, while the English, German, and French titles refer specifically to the faun-like Greek deity Pan. So that's why it's called Pan's Labyrinth in English, because they're just like, well, it's not just like what all fauns? It's all fauns' labyrinth? No, we need one faun.
What? Are they? I don't know what is Pan a very well-known faun, because I've never heard of him.
It's a Greek deity.
I'm Canadian. Where's the Canadian deity faun, huh?
It's a goose.
Handing out double-doubles and Dutchies.
Moose's Labyrinth. It's Bullwinkle's Labyrinth.
I would prefer the Moose's Labyrinth over the Goose's Labyrinth, because the Goose's Labyrinth is just getting hissed at and my ankles bit.
It's just, man, every time you're about to go around the corners, what the fuck? God damn it!
This is a hallway, not your nest.
Is that my golf? That's my golf ball. Let me just pick it up, please.
This is okay. This is how you deal with an angry goose. If it flies at you, you catch it by the neck, squeeze until it calms down, or it goes nunite, and then you yeet that goose. Works as long as you can catch it 100% of the time. If you cannot catch it, run. Fucking give up.
Just reaching behind you while you're running. Ah!
No, you just gotta take your wallet out and throw it on the ground. Be like, here's my money. It smells like maple syrup. Please leave me alone.
All right, let's rate this film. All right,
Numbers.
Jordan.
See.
Oh.
I was trying to rate it in Spanish, but I don't know all the Spanish numbers. I don't. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco.
Trays, L times trays.
You give it a 9? Is that
I give it like an
L
8.
times? Is that multiplication?
I give it an 8.
You said trays times trays, right?
Yeah, I was.
That's
just
3 times 3.
I was helping you.
That's 9. You're not helping at all. You're fucking everything over. How about you let me rate it, huh?
Yeah.
You don't tell me I'm gonna rate it a trays.
Trays, L times trays.
L times trays. You racist fuck. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's definitely a good movie. The only thing I think preventing it from getting like a 9,
is it 8?
I will find you. and I will make sure that I will tie you up with your excess skin. You possible
How
murderer.
dare you?
No, I think the only thing stopping me from giving it like a 7 or an 8 or a 9 is I would like a bit more action. Like a lot of the explosions, everything, it seemed very fake. Like even the fire in the woods, like just the smoke signal, it looked fake. But I was doing some reading up, and that was because there was a massive drought while they were filming, so they couldn't actually start a fire for fear of it consuming everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it a 7 instead of a lower number. But yeah, 7.
For not
Because of a
risking
drought.
it for the biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, like the Amazon is currently still on fire as far as I'm aware. So don't start something because it's never gonna stop.
Yeah. Grow up. Be a
Zach,
Yeah.
give me your number. Tres times tres, el multiplicationo.
No. A solid L8. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis.
Cieto?
Is it?
I don't know.
C.
You're sitting in front of a computer
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that has a
Ocho.
connection to the internet.
Ocho? Ocho.
Ocho. It might be Ocho.
Oh.
Hey Google,
The Ocho.
how do you say 8
ESPN
in Spanish?
ESPN 8.
You shouldn't be talking right now. You fucked it up. You piece of shit.
The Ocho.
Shh. How do you say 8 in Spanish? Now you may speak.
All right.
Ocho.
Oh yeah. Yo, that's a
Here we go.
that's a
Wait, here.
throwback to dodgeball.
This is
ESPN
English.
8. The Ocho.
This is not happening.
8. Ocho.
Ocho. All right, I rate it Ocho. Great makeup, and design and
Pelos
visuals.
de pene.
Continue.
And time period was good. Just the I just like how they transition, how it describes and shows how well kids deal with traumas and what goes on in their head. Just the visualization of that. I really enjoy that part of the film. Plus, Guillermo del Toro he's just great and fantastic. He puts out great movies. So I'll give it an 8.
Jeff, I'm gonna use a transition in Spanish. Okay, so after it finishes playing, you give us your rating.
Jeff
Okay.
come bichos y pene.
8.
I think you mean ocho.
Ocho.
Ochi.
Ochi. Okay, you know what? Here's the translation of what I just said. This is what
Jeff come bichos y pene.
that means. Jeff eats bugs and penises. Jeff como
8.
bichos y pene.
Jeff rates it an 8.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it has problems with certain scenes not paying off. Some of the acting was a little sketchy when, obviously, you can't actually hit a child, but when the captain struck the little girl, it looked fake as hell. The guerrilla units, like literally being within a kilometer of them at all times, yet them never knowing about it, was a little sketchy. Some of the audio was a little off. Like the creaking sounds, the frog sounds, some of that stuff. But it's a decent movie. I enjoy it. I'll probably actually not an 8, probably a 7.5 is what I'll give it.
You ruined everything, Jeff.
All right.
And I looked at other movies that came out in 2000. Well, I looked up 2004 because I'm an idiot. And this movie came out in 2006. But this movie had a budget of 19 million. Every movie that I looked at in the top 10, like most made movies in 2004 is what I looked at, had a budget of like 100 million or more, except for Passion of the Christ, which had a budget of 30 million. So it still had a 50% bigger budget than Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
So it was not a big budget movie in the slightest.
And it came out very well on top. Made about 83 million at the box office.
I think it probably would have done a lot better if they had like an English dub of it, and that's only because all of the racists in Canada and the United States were like, I don't want to listen to no Mexicano for an hour and 20 minutes. You speak English, oh? was my impression of a racist. I think I got it nailed. I'm practicing.
All right, so what's the total?
Total is 7.5.
That's nice. That's a solid rating. All right, so next week,
No, I got
last.
Únete a nosotros la próxima vez cuando matamos otra revisión de Cazador de Monstruos.
Join us next time when we butcher another review of Monster Hunter, but in Spanish.
No,
We're not gonna speak Spanish.
Yeah.
We can't, obviously. I don't speak like this.
Únete a nosotros.
Sorry.
Yes, Monster Hunter. The starring Mila Jovovich. Don't stop saying penis in Spanish.
I'm not.
What else? Oh yeah, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on twitch.tv/bytherailside and Spotify and everywhere you can consume podcasts. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Boy, yeah.